Hello and welcome everyone to a new video here on my channel. Today we're going over a Golgari Adventure deck. We are still in Ikoria Standard and I try to tune this deck to attack certain archetypes like Reclamation, like Bond, like those type of decks where we try to be fast enough and still have a lot of threats to deal with their threats. Before I go a little bit more in the matchups, I want to explain every card and what this deck can do and what it can't do. So, as in every adventure deck, we used to have the Edward Innkeeper as a 4-off. Whenever we cast an adventure creature, we're gonna draw a card. This is really important because it's cast effect, so not when it enters, so it cannot get countered, you still get the draw effect. Then we need some adventure creatures with this card, and we went with 4 Full Mind Knight. This is a 1 mana, 1/1 Death Touch. And you can pay 3 as an instant, you draw a card and use life. So this is definitely here to fill the Innkeeper. The Death Touch is really important, we come late to this one. And yeah. Then we have the Lovestruck Beast, 3 mana, 5/5. It can only attack unless we have a creature that is 1/1. We have a lot of 1/1, so this is actually usually not the problem. And for 1 mana, we can create a 1/1 human creature token. Really good, 3 mana, 5/5, great body. Then we play 3 Murderous Rider here. Murderous Rider is a 3 mana card that is a 2/3 lifelink. When it gets destroyed or when it dies, it goes back in the library. For 3 mana, we can also destroy target creature or Planeswalker, and we lose 2 life. The instant adventure here was better than I expected because there are a lot of decks that do not have too many creatures, but it tends to be better than you expect. So these are the adventures we have. There are not many adventures. You could also run the 2 mana Knight, which is really good, but nevertheless there are still 11 adventures and they can help us draw cards. Then we have a 1-off Shadow Spear. It's a 1 mana artifact that when we equip a creature, it gets +1/+1 and trample and lifelink. You can pay 1 permanent so your opponent controls hexproof and indestructible until the end of turn. I mean, usually you don't need the 1 here. It's good against Trawler, but that's about it. And yeah, it's really good to equip our big creatures with it to make sure they trample over opponent. Another card we have is Stonecold Serpent. The Stonecold Serpent is X00. You can pay X and it becomes as strong as we paid X. And there's Reach and Tremble. This has been a staple in every aggressive deck right now because it has protection from Teferi, Mayhem Devil, and Uro, and Krasis. And all the cards as well. I think Stonecold Serpent is in a really good spot. And usually you tend to combine this card with the Gem Racer. 4 mana, 4/4, Reach Trample creature. You pay 3 whenever this creature mutates, destroy target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls. And in this meta, they are just like Chant as Oven, Bola Citadel, Trails of Chrome. Then you have ECD, Reclamation. There are just many targets you can hit with Gem Racer. And on top of that, you can make a 3/3 or a 2/2 Stonecold Serpent even bigger because it keeps the counter, right? So it would be a 4/4 plus the amount of counters we have on Serpent. If Serpent would have been a 3/3, we got a 7/7 trample card, which is really strong. Then we have 3 Questing Beasts here, really good against the Planeswalkers, Haste, and also good against Chant. 4 mana, 4/4, Vigilance, Death Touch, Haste. Can be blocked by creature with power 2 or less, so it's really good against the Chant decks usually. It's also nice into Teferi or into Planeswalker in general, and it has haste, which is really good. Let's say your board gets wiped, you have a haste creature, you have additional 4 damage. I think haste creatures are really strong right now, and you still want to have haste in this deck. Then we go to the last creature in this deck, and I want to keep this to the end because it's Rotting Regisaur. As we all saw in the PT, there are a lot of Teemo Reclamation, and Teemo Reclamation game 1, they do not like Rotting Regisaur. They do not like Rotting Regisaur. This was one of the main reasons why I was thinking about this deck here. It's a 3 mana 7/6 creature. We have to discard a card in the upkeep. That's okay, but usually they cannot deal with this card. And in other against Rakdos and against Chant, this card is not that good. Usually you take it out because of Claim. But in the other matchups, this card is a lot of threat, and they need to deal with it. They definitely need to deal with it. It's even better if we have ways to give it trample. We have two ways. One is the Shadow Spear, the one we mentioned. The other way is Vivian Arkbow Ranger. We have 3 Vivian Arkbow Ranger. Arkbow Ranger, this is a really, really good card against creatures in general, and also it gives our creature trample. So I'm just gonna go over the cards. It's a 4 mana, 4 loyalty planeswalker. Triple Forest is a bit tricky, but it's doable. +1, distribute 2 +1/+1 counter among 2 target creature. They can trample until the end of turn. Really good. As we said, we have some big creatures here. We give them trample, really hard to block. This is really good against low creature decks like creatures like cats or knights. And -3, we can choose target creatures we control and a planeswalker creature opponent controls, and our creature deals damage to that creature planeswalker. So it's not just fight, which would be not that good, but deals damage. And we have 4 Death Touch creature here, 3 Death Touch creature here. So we have 7 Death Touch creature. We can actually do this on our 4-mana Knight to kill an Uro, for example. Really, really good in my opinion. I definitely like this one. Also, Death Touch has a really nice interaction with Trample. So the first damage would kill the opponent's card and the rest would still go through. Also, a little combo you have to keep in mind if you ever need that situation. But yeah, and the -5 with Vivian here, you may choose target creature card you own from outside the game, reveal it and put it into your hand. We have only 1 creature outside of the game. This would be Shifting Ceratops. Can be really good in certain matchups, but yeah, because Vivian usually you do not use too much against the Reclamation deck. Usually push, 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 push. Then you go minus, you get the Shifting Ceratops and you attack. So it's still not a bad card there. We have the one-off Vivian Monsters Advocate. This is basically a draw engine, and we're gonna see this against the match against Bunt we basically play our entire deck, even though we lost 2-1. It was a really good game, and yeah, so you can check the top card of your library. If it's a creature, you can play it. You cannot play that Adventure side, but you can still play it. We have many cards to make sure we have a creature on top, so we can use this to draw a card. If we have Eddie, we can draw the land away. That works. We can also scry. That works. There are some ways to make sure that we can keep the card on top. Also, Fable Passage Rush to shuffle your library again to maybe get the creature on top. We can +1, we can create a 3/3 green beast token. We put a choice of Vigilance, Reach, or Trample counter on it. Depending on the situation, you choose what you want. I like the Reach early on if you play against Shark. I like Vigilance if you play against, let's say, Mono Red Cavalcade, as you see. And Trample if you play against Chunt decks. And we also play a 2 of Hench. I think this is a deck where we definitely want to have the Hench. I could also see 3 Hench -1 Vivian, but I like the diversity here. The Hench goes really, really well with cards like Regisaur and Lovestruck Beast. It's a 9 mana legendary artifact, but the spell costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. 7 would make this a double green, and this would make this 2 colorless and double green. We can tap it, we add 2 double green, 2 forests on our mana pool, and we gain 2 life. And whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on it and draw a card. Also a way to draw a card to make sure we have a creature on top. So this is the main deck here. We also have 1 castle. Yeah, it's a deck, I think it's tier 2 to tier 3. I still play it in a high Mythic. I think overall I won around 15 games, lost maybe 8. Still a good deck, and let's go over the sideboard shortly. So the game 1 against Reclamation should be actually the one we win. Against Reclamation later on, we need something like Hand Hate, which would be Duress and Remorse. We play 4 Duress to target the hand, get rid of a sorcery or an instant card. And we play 2 Remorse to target the hand or graveyard to exile a card. That could be Uro, that could be anything we don't like. I really like those type of cards against deck that try to sideboard in cards to target our deck. Then we have an X for Shadow Spear for those matchups where we need the trample and the lifelink. Against creature decks, really good. where there's a stalemate and we need to get through it. Because Rotting Regisaur is kind of weak if we cannot get through it, so we need a card like this. And yeah, so an extra 1-off there. We play 1 Lantern to have something at cycling. There's no cycling anymore, but it's also good against the Sacrifice deck, and it works against Uro as well. 2 Legion's End. I like this card right now. It deals with Crazes, it deals with Nissa lands, it deals with Serpent, it deals with many mono red creatures, it deals with Sharks. Legion's End, again, better than it was before, and it's a 2-off here. 4 Shifting Ceratops to have extra pressure against Reclamation, because this deck really should defeat Reclamation. And yeah, it works against many control decks, just board it in. It's a haster, protection for blue, you can pay 1 green to give it haste, so it's not a haster naturally, but you can also give it trample or reach. And in the last slot we have an extra Vivian. I like the extra Vivian here, because sometimes we board out the Henge, because opponent tends to have Artifact hate more than Planeswalker hate right now, because that's how the meta is. And if we board out the Regisaur, we tend to board out the Henge and bring in the other Vivian. That's just the way I do it. And yeah, so this is the deck overall. If you have questions, and there's definitely a lot of room to improve, still managed to get really far with this deck. And yeah, feel free to ask, and let's enjoy the games. Okay, we won the first game. I'm not sure if we could record it with the audio, because the audio seemed to be bugged before. It should work now though. No, we want to find lands from here. This looks for opponent probably like a Sultai list. We do not want to face Sultai. Sultai, I think, is a harder matchup. Okay, we did not find a land 2 in a row, which is bad. Now, if we find 2 lands in a row, it's at least decent. But missing on lands now is probably really bad. So we play against Bunt. Okay, we found a land. They could technically play Dovincito. There was a stop, so it's either Growth Spiral or Dovincito now. Okay. Shadow Spear is something I have to board out against this type of deck. And take in my 4 Ceratops. If I find the green lands, it's actually good. If they bounce here, that's fine as well. I don't mind this. Uro, sure, no fun. But if we find a green land here, we're in a really good position, I think. Even if they have Uro. Because then we Vivian on the Serpent. Opponent takes 5 damage. Wilt. We honestly found a green land here. So we check here, they have a Gust. Which is actually okay. So we keep attacking. If they want to take the Gust here, they have to spend 2 mana. And we have another Vivian Ogbo range in our hand. We can also play the Henge next turn. Wilt is definitely not fun. They can kill our Serpent. But technically, yeah, so they Gust for the Vivian, which I think is totally fine here. This could also be a Nissa plus Gust. So this is a Nissa plus Gust. This makes it not so cool though. So they attack us, I guess, and then they Gust, right? And we have to decline, I guess. And because of the land is a bit of a problem here. But if they do it in upkeep now, they have to tap the land. And I don't know we have a second Vivian on hand. So this is where they lose. Now we have 7. And we go face again. So, I mean, we have to say in this game, I think we were really lucky finding the green lands, the forests there. Okay, so we know what we face here. Usually, the Ceratops are okay. It's really tricky. We kind of need the Vivians, so we want to keep the full Knights. We do not want the Regis usually. Now, especially not on the play here. I want to place ECDs. We want to have our duress maximum here. We're gonna keep in the Murderous Rider, going lower on one Gem Racer because of the Gust. We're going down on a Vivian here. No Shadow Spear. I mean, the Great Henge is actually really good. But since we cut the Regis, I think we can cut the Henge. And they play Wilts. So I rather play the Vivian Monster Advocate for the card advantage. You can also think of having Legion's End, but we don't. I mean, Remorse is fine. Remorse actually deals with the Urs, but I think it's better on the play. Murderous Rider. I think we keep in Murderous Rider to deal with Nissa, Uros. Yeah, it's a hard one. It's a hard one. There are so many bunt versions out there. But I think in this circumstances, it seems like the correct choice to do here. This is low hand. Probably just... Okay, they play Teferis, right? I think we just do a Serpent for 2. I mean, I could go 1-2, but Serpent is such a strong card in this matchup that if possible, I would like to keep at least 1 and dodge the Shatters. The protection for multicolor is amazing. Okay, I mean, they have this. This is okay. So we're gonna play the Eddie and the Knight. We do not play the Serpent here because they could have a Shadow now, but at least we trade cards. So we, I mean, yeah, because of Eddie, we got an extra draw. They could Shatter here. It's reasonable. They do not Shatter. So we have a 4/4 Serpent next turn. And we maybe use the Passage here just to filter the deck for lands. Which I think is a correct play. And next turn we also have a Shifting Ceratop that can go in. Usually you have to go for a Swamp here. And then we play a 4/4 Serpent, which also gives us a draw if they technically have. Okay, this kind of looks like a Wilt. Or Growth Spiral now. Okay. So we also need to figure out how many cards down the grave. So there are 3. Which is okay. They could have a Crisis for 4/4, but that's okay. The Shifting Ceratops and the Serpent is huge next turn. If they Shatter here, our Shifting Ceratops is safe from the Shatter. So they have the Crisis here. They maybe have a Shadow on their hand the way they play this. I think I have to go for it. I have to make them have it. And if they block their Knight, we know it. If they block their Knight, they have a Shadow, right? Or they just want to have to draw. That's possible as well. But we have 3 lands on our hand, which is definitely not good. They still don't have Uro, but they could Shatter into Uro, which is... Then I think we lose. Shatter into Uro is huge. They can tap this. Okay, the Fairy's fine. They can plus and Shatter. Okay, so they don't... This is a play that signalizes us that they don't have Shatter, which I like. They have to replay this for the for the Serpent now. But our Shifting Ceratops still has protection from blue. Okay, so this can block our Shifting Ceratops now. Kind of funny. Okay, so do we have a way to deal with the Knight of Autumn? This is kind of strange to see the Knight of Autumn here. So we cannot attack there. We need to find a way to deal with Knight of Autumn, but we definitely go for the Fairy, even though they could play Uro. Maybe this was a mistake. But they cannot attack with Crazies now because of our Shifting Ceratops. We're gonna draw 2 cards next turn. And they need 1 more card to play Uro. They're on 13. We have 3 cards on our hand, but all are lands, but opponent doesn't know this. Needle could have been better, huh? I mean, the Glass Casket is definitely really good against... Oof. It's a lot of draw again. It's not easy. Trying to go for the beatdown. Well, that's interesting. Do they want to fill the graveyard? I mean, I have to block this. I cannot take 4 damage for no reason. Now they have enough for Uro. Okay, what do we draw? I mean, we need to find cards now. This looks like a Gust to me. And we have to decline here. We draw a little bit too many lands, huh? We go in. Sure, opponent will get 3 life again, but we can still find cards. I mean, we have about the same land and a deck that tends to ramp. It's definitely not where we want to be. We are 17 cards in, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 lands and 17 cards. So we have almost half of our lands at the top 17 cards. It's not where we want to be in. Good would be anything that can actually give us card draw. I also take a Vivian. Vivian as top decks here is always nice because you can just get a lot of creature out of it. Okay, we take the 4 damage here. We have to keep our knights back. Teferi. Bouncing here, probably the Casket to deal with my Eddie. Yeah. This Casket is doing a huge job. Is getting rid of 2 serpents so far. It's really good. It's really good. Okay, so what do we find? I mean, we cannot attack here. Okay, we found a Vivian, which is actually decent. And they do not have trample, huh? I mean, we have to fight here. I mean, actually, we can also plus. But then they get a free attack. So, I think we have to get rid of Uro. And then we say pass. I could have attacked with one knight though. Having 2 lands here is not helping. I need to find something else. But I need to protect Vivian. Another Casket, okay. If they have another Casket after this Casket, then that's a bit unfortunate. Well, I mean, you cannot play around this, I think. This is a nice for sure. They need to double attack the Vivian here. Yeah, I have to let this go. Shifting Setup is just too strong. That's the top deck we needed. If the last card is a Gust, then yeah. Okay. Reach. Should we go face? I mean, Vivian survives here. If they have easy, they have one card on hand. This could be a Shark Typhoon. I honestly think we have to do it like this. If this is a Shark Typhoon, we need two blockers. We need two blockers here. And this gives me a card if the top card is bad. If Vivian survives here, we can actually refill the board. Okay, there was no Shark Typhoon though. We're clearly gonna block whatever they do. I mean, I have two cards with reach. Okay, so I played conservative here, but I honestly think it's okay. And what I could minus here and get an Edward Innkeeper, which I think is the correct play. Okay, outside it's going crazy. So whenever you play the next one, we can get one card, and this would be the Edward Innkeeper in this case. Okay. So we try to refill as good as we can. Here actually, play this. And we will not attack. I mean, they could have a Shatter. They could have a Shatter. But we attack next turn. So they can bounce one of their things, but that's okay. I mean, probably a Knight for Eddie. But Vivian here just refilled the board really well. So Vivian is actually a super underrated card in my opinion. I really love to play that card, especially in a deck with adventures, where you can minus and get your Eddies out. So next turn we can just draw everything. Well, that's actually a really good play. We want to find something to remove that massive crisis now. That's a huge crisis. They could also board wipe here. But we're definitely going to refill the board again. With our hand right now. Well, it's not certain though. We're going to draw a card, right? Okay, keeps 4 mana open. Why 4 mana? We only use Fable Passage if we want to shuffle the top away. What is the 4 mana spell? Oh, it's interesting. It's doing nothing. Okay, so now you're really gonna fill it up. I mean, sure, gets a lot of life. And we are on 6, right? So you have to be careful. But if you find another Vivian example, that would be really good. Okay, so we want to draw that one. And then we want to kill the Krasis. Takes 2 life. I think we kinda are forced to. I should not have done this here right away. Gonna be a 2/2. This is the card we want next turn, huh? Okay. Definitely go in. They probably have to block the shifting Ceratops. Okay, that's interesting. It's a lot of damage. And we take one with reach again. And we play land. So, having the Vivian here, no matter what creature they play, we got it. The only thing they have is a Shadow, right? Yeah. But we have a lot of haste creatures in our deck. And they go back in our deck as well. And we can also use the Fable Passage to shuffle anyways. So top card is a land. Definitely not perfect. But we have 2 draws with the Fulmine Knight. And we're definitely going to kill the Ura here. So they empty their graveyard again. Idagast is a bit annoying. That's for sure. Okay, 7 so far. I think it was okay to commit like that on the board. I still have a lot left. Okay. So we're gonna draw. Okay, we wanna keep that card there for sure. And then we're gonna deal with Uro again. And we're gonna play a Reacher to play around the Shark Typhoon. And that's it. And we have a good board again. With a Vivian that can give trample to 2 creatures next turn. And we draw a removal spell. So here we have the Reacher for this card. That can either deal with one of our Vivians. There could be another Glass Casket for sure. But Reach helps us out a lot here. Gust, okay. So they maybe deal with which card? Attacking is super risky. I think they have to go for the Arcbow Ranger though. Well, that's fine with a second one. Maybe they have a Shatter. I mean, we're definitely gonna plus here. Another Uro. They have 5 in the graveyard for Uro. But dealt so many times with this Uro already. Where are our haste creatures though? We have Ceratops. We have 2 Ceratops left. Or at least 1. And Questing Beast we have as well. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, take this. Okay, so first. Okay. Yeah, we do not want that one. If they had a Gust, they would have used it. Okay, we do also not want that one. And we could get a -1 to reshuffle. Super awkward. Reach. I mean, I think we do it like this, so we maybe don't have to use the Murder's Right on that thing. because we want to use the Murderous Rider if possible on the Uro. Because they will play an Uro again. Maybe we have to use it on the Shark though to protect our Vivians. That's a bit tricky here. Okay. I mean, opponents are about to deck themselves. We are only on 5 left though. Okay. I mean, I block this. That's an easy block, sir. Especially since Murderous Rider is hard to cast. With the hard casting. Okay. Okay, I see what's going on. That's actually nice. It's always hard to deal with this. This is still an easy way to go through with Questing Beast so far. If we find enough hasters, we may have a chance. I mean, this one gets 3 lives, but we have to kill it. And we do it now, before they have a draw. Maybe get something here. Okay. This is like the 3rd time we had dealt with Uri. It's a long game here. That's a good game. I'll enjoy it. I enjoy it. Okay, so we found this, which is kind of awkward. So now, how deep do we want to go? We have a lot of cards. We could get another Eddy again. I think there's one Eddy, and we have one here. That's a risky thing to do. So we would do this, and then we get. I think it's okay though. I mean, we need to refill. This is the card we wanted. Let's see. Okay. So this is 5, 6. We're gonna do it on this as well for maximizing the damage. I mean, sure they can deal with Vivian, but at this point, I mean, it's kind of pointless. We need to make sure we remove a card that's annoying at this point. Okay, they get another Shock Typhoon and we lose here. Okay, just realized that we lose out of this. Yeah, it was a mistake. I totally forgot about that. This was a part. It was a good game though. It was a good game. We don't have reach here, so all they can do is attack face. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay, I know what they play now. I mean the amount of Glass Casket is heavy, definitely heavy. Probably should not have done this. I mean, we found the Questing Beast this way though. Having 3 glass, I mean, it's a good game. It's a good game. I enjoy it. I need to find a way to deal with the Urus though. I think I run 2 Remorse over the Duress. Gemracer seems suddenly way better again. And the Lantern seems also okay. How good would be Reggie here? What do they have? The Caskets, huh? Murderous Rider, okay. But the main problems are Uros. I really had a lot of Ceratops left. They were all on the bottom. That's crazy though. That's actually crazy. I think on the play I should just try to overrun them. On the play I really want to overrun them, and I think Vivian is faster than the Rider. I'm going to keep the auto Vivian to refill the board like we just did if they have Shatters. Reggie is actually good though. But the fact that Reggie doesn't have Trample is really hard to deal with. It's a two-lander here. That could bite us really hard. I have to get the black here. And yeah, they play their caskets, which is super annoying. To play mana efficient, I think we do this. Then we get the casket out, I guess. Okay. I need to find the land here, which is more important than anything else. So I need to keep my full Mine Knight to draw a card, right? And even if they play the fairy, they cannot kill the serpent. I have two hasters and I have a Vivian that I cannot play yet, sadly. But I have to make pressure with the last rock beast first, so they tap out and I can use my hasters each turn. Okay, so this is a 1/1 shock, which is okay. Okay. So we missed 2 lands in a row. Actually missed 2 lands in a row. Shocking here. But that's a decline. That was a bad gust, I think. I mean, is scared of a Lovestruck Beast. It's awkward. It's really awkward. Nissa. Nissa's no fun. We need to find a land. Now I think we lose. We missed 5 lands in a row. 5 lands. While we had in one game only lands. Yeah, this looks really bad now. It's almost impossible to win here if they untap. If we at least had pressure here with our Questing Beast, maybe. Because then we could go Questing Beast into Ogbo Ranger. Okay, that's fine if they take the full Mine Knight, I guess. They have 4 mana left. And they get another creature. They're thinking of taking the beast away so they can attack. Okay, they're playing her to hope to draw land here. Well, now we're definitely gonna attack the Vivian. Okay, true, they could still do that. They also have a Uro here. Okay, so we're gonna leave this game. We played our best. We just missed all the lands, and yeah, that happens sometimes. I think we could have mulliganed this hand, even though it was a good hand. Yeah, let's go next game. Yeah, we're gonna keep this. Red. I did not expect that one. Okay. Well, we needed to find that land, so next turn we can at least play Eddie plus Knights and then block the Knight whatever they throw at us. Double Spitter is heavy though, but we have a lot of blockers. Triple Spitter. Actually funny. Triple Spitter, that's heavy. I think I would block everything here. Maybe only one though. Taking a lot of damage. Okay, this is Cavalcade. So I take 3. Guess that's okay. So this is a Cavalcade deck. It's been a while. It's been a while. So we get 2 blocks, we take 4 damage again. It's a lot. But I think it's okay until we find our solution. Cavalcade, we need to dodge the Cavalcade here. If they, oh my god. Okay, we're gonna block 1. But then they pay this, right? I still do it. If they don't, this just tells me if they have a play or not. Okay, they don't. Okay, we got an answer to Cavalcade. Okay, we need to get as many blockers as we can. We're still on 10. We managed to get a lot of blockers here. And we will just block Double Spitter and the champion. We still have an Torbran. Wow. We need to block everything now. Okay. Torbran was not fun. This cannot be blocked and can block, which is nice. If we block here, we lose both. We need to just go as wide as possible now. Well, I mean, that's top decking. That's nothing you can do about. I'm sometimes really surprised how they do this. Okay. Reggie is a blocker, but that gives me card advantage, a disadvantage. I'm not sure about Reggie. I just don't think. I mean, they will just not attack. They will just wait until they find the Cavalcade and then attack in 1 turn, and do the damage without me even blocking. Right. This was a really sad one. I thought I had this one, but I didn't expect like this exact sequence of cards, which makes them win the game here. Legion's Endo is really good. Triple Scorch is also really fast. Triple Scorch and then laying down with Torbran, I mean, should be okay. I think this is a matchup I'm favored, but then you know. Then you know. Okay. I mean, Eddie and Serpent is nice. We just go with Serpent for 2. Murder's Rider is also nice. A 2/3 card that can block the 1/1s and can deal with Torbran. Seems good to me. It's also really decent. Because now we can go Eddie, Beast, Token, Beast, right? Ah, I just realized we can't, huh? Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna play it. If they have a shock here, they have shock. Don't have shock. I still just slam the Beast to draw. Okay, they had a Dragonfire. I mean, that's fine. They got really slow with this move. So that's totally okay. And we go for 2/2 here. That can block also. It's also okay to keep this on my hand for attacking with the Beast, but I'm in a position where I don't think I should attack. I mean, now I can attack though, but them not doing any damage so far is really good for me. It feels like they have only removal spells on their hands. I hope this Vivian does the job here. Okay. Okay. Okay, take that 1 damage. Yeah, I was just saying. That would have been awkward. And we're gonna attack here, mainly because we can block with the beast. That's good. So Vivian here is amazing. Torbrand sure is annoying, but you're gonna block everything. I don't know what the spell is. Hot Fire? I think Vigilance is the way to go. Because it allows us to attack. I think we go in with 5 damage. 5 damage is huge. 5 damage actually huge enough to... We can still keep the 2-2 back to block. Yeah. They could technically use the Hot Fire here to deal with the Advocate, but we still have a 5-5, right? That's... I'm not sure if this is the correct play. I mean, Vivian seems way strong, or can they not target Planeswalker? They can target Planeswalker. Wait, again. Oof, that's a good one. Double land, huh? We're definitely going in here. We have to keep this for potential Torbrand. Okay, land. Was it a double land? Unlucky. Well, this is actually what we want to draw. Trample is fine as well, but we definitely just go in here. We definitely just want to draw this next turn. I mean, there's a world where you can play it, but if you get rid of friends, it's just so good. Okay. Opponent on 8. We forgot to play a land. I was so focused. Oh my god. That's fine. Okay. Not too cool, but what should we do? Okay, sure. That is fine, like this. Still have lethal. Still have lethal. If we deal with the 1-1 here, just can go face, but I mean they can still do something. They may be thinking of Hot Fire or Dragon Fire here to deal with one creature. But I still would have an exact lethal with the mutation from the Gem Racer here. And our Vivian is on 6, so not easy. This was a really slow start from opponent who took in a lot of removal. I think this comes in my favor. The Frenzy is really strong though. So, remember a time when you played Frenzy? That was fun. Okay. We do not have lethal yet. I think I'd rather go for this, just to remove every threat. I mean, yeah, we do not have lethal though, but it's interesting. It was not over. It was definitely not over, but yeah. So what we have to do is we have to stabilize. If we find a way to stabilize and then go off with Vivian, that's the way we have to do it. It's definitely the way we have to do it. I could think of taking out the hench here. Maybe we should have taken out the hench here for a Reggie. But I'm not sure if they have claim or something. My claim is really hard for me to deal with. Works well against many cards. And they have Heartfire. It's a funny combo. I don't think they do that though, but yeah. It would have been a way to do it at least. We always get the Scrylands. It's not a... We run 4 Scrylands and we basically just draw them. And we need to draw lands for sure. So next turn we go Lovestruck Beast, Serpent, I guess. Okay. Do we go Serpent though? Yeah. No. We should have played the Temple. Misplay here from me. I think we go next turn Eddie and Serpent for 2. And we block whatever we have to block here. The Cavalcade is super dangerous though. But we block every 1/1 we can see. That's a fast start. 2 mana, 2/2, 1 haste. It's pretty solid. Again. We have to block the red ones because they are red sources for Torbran. Okay, opponent is missing. Interesting. Opponent is missing a land draw here. We just keep blocking the red source there. Okay, that's fine. I mean, they tap out. That's totally fine. That's no problem here. If they have a Heartfire, they have a Heartfire. They need to tap out again. And I still have a Lovestruck Beast. And they're missing lands. They found the land. So third land, what could it be? Cavalcade. It's not good enough for yet. Okay, that's 3 damage, but we can block. Definitely try to raise now. Goes on 10. Also, again, my land placing is really bad. We have 8 damage. Ooh, that's heavy. That's heavy. To a player or planeswalker, huh? I mean, you can still do it. They have a Heartfire. Scorching, okay. Still, we have 6 damage there. Which is fine. They have no way to deal with the Questing Beast now. For now, at least. We're definitely gonna block everything. So, 4. Questing Beast on 6 is really hard to deal with this. I will block both 100%. Not with the Questing Beast, but without, yeah. Okay, that was a good game as well. I enjoyed both games. Actually free. I'm not sure if every game is online. But if you like those type of games, feel free to subscribe to my content. I usually am a Twitch streamer, but I'm trying to get into YouTube. Feel free to write me messages if you have questions about the deck. And yeah, see you next time.